Look who just got a letter. Look who just got a phone call. Look who just got that message that made their entire spine freeze in a way they can't explain. Hello to the one who thought they were ordinary. Hello to the one who's been living a life they can never fully remember. Hello to you, because something just shifted, didn't it? Something just cracked open in your reality. And now you're standing there with a piece of paper, a voice recording, a cryptic email that says, "We've been waiting for you to remember. We've been watching you grow. We know you escaped us when you were 7, and now it's time to come home." Home, they said, home, like you ever had one, like you ever belonged anywhere long enough to call it that. And the strangest part, the part that's making your hands shake right now, is that you don't remember any of it. No memories of robes, no memories of rituals, no memories of a compound or a leader or a family that wasn't really a family. Nothing. Just blank space where your childhood should be, just fragments. Just that feeling you've carried your whole life, like you're not from here. Like you're playing a character in someone else's story. Like you've been running from something you can never name. They say you escaped, but you don't even remember being held. They say you were special, that you were marked, that you were chosen before you could even speak. And now they want you back, not because they lost you, but because whatever they planted in you back then is starting to bloom, and they can feel it. You can feel it too, can't you? That pull, that strange magnetism toward things you shouldn't understand, that eerie calm you have in chaos. That way people look at you sometimes like they're seeing someone else, something else, and you've always dismissed it, always laughed it off, always said, "I'm just different. I'm just weird. I don't know why I know things I shouldn't know, why I dream in symbols I've never studied, why certain words make my skin crawl and certain places feel like I've been there before." But now you're holding proof that it wasn't in your head, that there's a reason you feel like a stranger in your own skin, that there's a reason you've never fully connected, never fully trusted, never fully believed the story you were told about who you are, because the story was a cover. The life you think you're living is a script. And the real you, the one they're calling back, is something you've been running from your entire existence without even knowing you were running. They don't just want you back, they need you back, because you're not just a member, you're the key. The one who got away before the final ceremony, the one who was supposed to complete the cycle, and without you, their structure is incomplete. Their vision is fractured, and they've spent decades searching, tracking, waiting for the moment your memory would glitch, for the moment the veil would thin, for the moment you'd start asking the questions you've been too afraid to ask. Why do I feel like I'm wearing someone else's face? Why do I have scars I can't explain? Why do I flinch at things that should be harmless? Why do I feel most alive in the dark? Why do I speak in my sleep in a language I don't recognize? Why do certain numbers make me nauseous? Why do I avoid mirrors at certain times? Why do I feel like I'm being watched even when I'm alone? And you thought it was trauma, you thought it was anxiety, you thought it was just your broken brain misfiring, but it wasn't. It was memory trying to surface. It was your original programming trying to break through the reprogramming. It was the real you clawing at the cage they built around your mind when they let you go. Let. That's the word, isn't it? They didn't lose you. They let you go. They released you into the world like a seed, like an experiment, like a weapon they'd retrieve later when you'd grown into whatever they designed you to become. And now the harvest is here. Now they're knocking. Now they're smiling through the screen, through the phone, through the stranger at your door who knows your name before you say it. and you're sitting there feeling your reality unravel in real time, feeling your memories twist and reshape, feeling your identity dissolve like it was never solid to begin with. Because it wasn't. You were built, you were crafted, you were coded, and the life you think you chose was the maze they set you loose in. And now they're standing at the exit with open arms, whispering, "Welcome back. You've done exactly what we knew you would. You've become exactly what we needed. And now it's time to stop pretending. It's time to stop hiding. It's time to remember who you really are." You've tried to remember, haven't you? Late at night when the world goes quiet and your mind starts drifting into places it shouldn't go. You've tried to pull back the curtain on your childhood, but there's nothing there. Just fog, just static, just flashes of images that don't connect. A basement with symbols on the floor, a circle of people in white, a voice that wasn't your mother's calling you a name that wasn't the name you grew up with, hands on your head, whispers in a language that sounded like English but twisted, and you've always told yourself it was just nightmares, just your brain processing fear in weird ways. But nightmares don't leave physical evidence. Nightmares don't explain the birthmark on your wrist that looks like it was carved, the scar on your ankle you've had since before memory, the way you instinctively draw the same symbol over and over when you're not paying attention. Spirals, eyes, doorways, things you've never studied but somehow know. They know you don't remember. And that's exactly how they planned it, because memory is the enemy of control. Memory is the thing that makes people resist, makes people fight back, makes people question. So they erased it, not through violence, not through drugs, but through something deeper, something that rewired your brain before it fully formed. And they've been watching you ever since, watching you grow up confused, watching you struggle to fit in, watching you sabotage every relationship, because deep down, you don't believe you deserve connection. Watching you chase success but never celebrate it. Watching you build walls so high, even you can't see over them. And they've been smiling the whole time, because every defense mechanism you developed, every trauma response you normalized, every piece of yourself you buried, it was all part of the design. You weren't broken by accident. You were shattered on purpose. So when they finally called you home, you'd be too fractured to fight, too confused to run, too desperate for answers to say no. But here's the thing they didn't account for. Here's the variable they couldn't predict. You didn't just survive the forgetting. You evolved inside it. You built a self from nothing. You became someone without a foundation, without a past, without a script. And that made you dangerous in ways they never intended. Untethered forces that can't be controlled because there's nothing to leverage, no family to threaten, no history to manipulate, no identity to shatter, because it was already shattered. And you became someone who learned to survive in the gaps, in the spaces between what's real and what's remembered. And now they're realizing that calling you back might have been the mistake, because the person they sent out into the world isn't the person who's returning. The child they erased is gone, and what's walking toward them now is something they didn't build, something they can't predict, something that remembers nothing but feels everything. You don't remember the cult, but your body does, your nervous system does, your instincts do every time you walk into a room and scan for exits, every time you meet someone new and feel your energy recoil, every time you're alone and feel like you're performing for an invisible audience. That's not paranoia. That's pattern recognition. That's your system remembering what your mind forgot. And now they're counting on you not trusting that. They're counting on you doubting yourself, dismissing yourself, gaslighting yourself into thinking you're just broken, just traumatized, just mentally ill. but you're not. You're a survivor of something you can't name, and survival doesn't need memory. It just needs instinct. And yours? Yours has been screaming at you your whole life, and you've been drowning it out with logic, with therapy, with medication, with distractions, but now the screaming is louder than ever, and you're finally starting to listen, and that's what terrifies them. Because a person who trusts their instincts over their memories, a person who feels the truth before they know it, a person who's been hunted their whole life and didn't even realize it, that person, that's you. And you're the one thing they can't reprogram, the one thing they can't erase, the one thing that might just burn their entire structure to the ground. The letter, the call, the message, it wasn't a threat. It was an invitation wrapped in love, dipped in honey, disguised as belonging. We've missed you. We've been incomplete without you. Your family is here. Your purpose is here. Your truth is here. Come home. Come back. Come remember. We're not angry. We're not hurt. We understand you had to leave. We understand you needed to grow in the world, but now the world has done its job. Now you've learned what you needed to learn. Now it's time to return, to complete what was started, to fulfill what was written before you were born. And part of you, that deep, lonely part of you that's been searching for belonging your entire life, part of you wants to believe them, wants to pack a bag and show up at whatever address they gave, wants to walk into their arms, and finally feel like you're home, because you've never felt home, have you? Not in any house, not in any relationship, not in any job, not in any city. You've been drifting, searching, aching, and now here they are, offering you the one thing you've been starving for: answers, identity, purpose, family. But there's another part of you, the part that's been keeping you alive, the part that's been whispering something's wrong, something's off. This doesn't feel like love. This feels like a trap. And that part, that's the part you need to listen to. Because love doesn't track you for decades. Love doesn't wait in the shadows. Love doesn't manipulate your memories and then offer to restore them. Love doesn't say, you're incomplete without us. Love says, you're whole, no matter where you are. And what they're offering isn't love. It's control disguised as care. It's possession disguised as belonging. It's a cage disguised as a home. And they know you're vulnerable. They know you're searching. They know you've spent your whole life feeling like you're missing something. And they're betting everything on you being desperate enough to walk back into the fire just to feel warm. They've studied you, haven't they? They've watched you scroll through social media looking for connection. They've seen you ghost people who get too close. They've tracked your jobs, your relationships, your breakdowns, your breakthroughs. They know what you fear, what you crave, what you avoid. They know your triggers, your patterns, your weaknesses. And now they're using it all against you. Every message is calibrated, every word is calculated. They're not reaching out randomly. They're reaching out now, because now is when you're most breakable, most confused, most likely to say yes. Maybe you just lost someone. Maybe you just moved somewhere new. Maybe you just ended something that mattered. Maybe you're in that space where you're questioning everything, where you're asking, who am I? What am I doing? Why does nothing feel real? And that's when they strike. That's when they send the invitation. Because they know that a person in free fall will grab onto anything, even a rope that's on fire. But here's what they don't know. Here's what they didn't plan for. You're not the same person they let go. You're not the child they programmed. You've lived, you've survived, you've built something from nothing. And even though you don't remember them, even though you can't name what they did, your body remembers. And your instincts remember. And every part of you that they tried to erase is screaming at you right now. Don't go. Don't answer. Don't engage, because if you step into their world, you won't step out, not as yourself, not as the person you fought to become. You'll step out as theirs, reprogrammed, rebooted, reset, and the life you've been living, the person you've been becoming, the freedom you've been tasting, it'll all be gone. Not because they'll kill you, but because they'll convince you that you never existed in the first place, that the real you is the one they remember, the one they're calling back, the one who belongs to them. They're not offering you a place. They're offering you an identity, a ready-made self, complete with history, purpose, community, and that's the most seductive trap of all, because you've spent your whole life not knowing who you are. You've tried on personalities like costumes. You've shifted and adapted and shape-shifted depending on who you're with, and none of it ever felt real, none of it ever stuck. You've been a chameleon, a ghost, a placeholder, and now here they are saying, stop searching, stop struggling. We know who you are, we've always known, and if you come back, you'll finally know too. And the exhaustion you feel, the bone-deep weariness of constantly questioning yourself, it makes that offer sound like relief, like rest, like finally being able to stop running and just be. But identity isn't something you find. It's something you build brick by brick, scar by scar, choice by choice. And the person you've been becoming, even in the confusion, even in the chaos, even in the not knowing, that person is real, that person is yours, that person belongs to no one but you. And the moment you accept their version of you, the moment you let them tell you who you were, who you are, who you're supposed to become, you lose that. You lose the one thing they could never touch. Your sovereignty, your right to define yourself, your power to say, I don't care what you think I am, I don't care what you say I was, I am who I choose to be, and that choice belongs to me and me alone. And that terrifies them more than anything, because their entire structure is built on controlling identity, on assigning roles, on making people believe they're nothing without the group, without the leader, without the mission. You've been living without them for years, haven't you? And yeah, it's been hard. Yeah, it's been lonely. Yeah, you've questioned everything, but you've survived, you've grown, you've built a life that's messy and imperfect and confusing. But it's yours. No one handed it to you. No one told you how to live it. You figured it out in the dark, one step at a time. And that's the life they want to erase. That's the person they want to replace. Not because you're broken, but because you're proof that their system isn't necessary, that people can survive without them, that identity doesn't need to be given, it can be claimed. And if you can do it, if you can walk away and build yourself from nothing, then so can others. And that's the real threat. Not you specifically, but what you represent. Freedom, autonomy, the possibility of escape. The idea that their control is an illusion. And if that idea spreads, if that truth gets out, their entire world collapses. So they're not inviting you back out of love. They're inviting you back out of fear. Fear that you'll inspire others to leave. Fear that your absence will create a crack in their foundation. Fear that the longer you stay gone, the more obvious it becomes that they're not necessary, that they're not special, that they're just people playing power games with other people's lives, and you're the one who got away, the one who survived the erasure, the one who built a self without their permission, and now they need you back, not to welcome you, but to break you. to prove to everyone still trapped inside that escape is impossible, that freedom is a lie, that the only real identity is the one they assign. And if they can break you, if they can reprogram you, if they can make you kneel, then everyone else will stop dreaming of doors. So here you are, standing at a crossroads you didn't ask for, holding a piece of paper that rewrites your entire history, feeling your mind split between two realities, the one you've been living and the one they're offering, and the pressure is crushing, isn't it? Because part of you wants answers, needs answers, craves the relief of finally knowing why you feel the way you feel, why you are the way you are, why you've spent your whole life feeling like a stranger in your own story. And they're promising to fill in every blank, to give you the missing pieces, to make you whole. But here's the truth they won't tell you. The truth you need to hear: wholeness doesn't come from them. It doesn't come from answers. It doesn't come from finally knowing your origin story. Wholeness comes from accepting that you don't need to know, that the person you are right now, the person you've built from fragments and instincts and sheer stubborn will, that person is already whole, already complete, already enough. They want you to believe that without them you're broken, incomplete, lost. But look at yourself. Really look. You survived something that should have destroyed you. You built a life from nothing. You learned to trust yourself when you had no reason to. You developed instincts sharp enough to keep you alive in a world that felt hostile. And yeah, you don't remember them. And yeah, that's terrifying, but it's also proof that they don't own you. That whatever they did, whatever they planted, it didn't take. You rejected it on a level so deep even you don't have access to it. Your subconscious, your body, your soul, whatever you want to call it. That part of you fought back. That part of you chose life over programming, chose autonomy over belonging, chose the unknown over their certainty. And that choice, that ancient, instinctual, pre-verbal choice, that's still yours. It's still active. It's still protecting you. And if you go back, if you answer the call, you're overriding it. You're telling that part of you that saved your life, I don't trust you, I trust them. And that's how they win.